Hey, good morning, folks. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. The 21st, okay, let's start right there. The 21st is government shutdown day. Now, it's almost like, and here's go to number 20, okay. Chuck and Nancy are going to the Hill to meet with the President of the United States. It's like we keep watching the same show over and over. Every once in a while, they write a character out of the script, meaning somebody gets voted out during an election. Somebody retires, takes a job as a lobbyist. Somebody dies. I mean, seriously, it's like we're watching episode after episode of our government. And we continue to go through these every year promises. Promises from one party that they will do this. Promises from one party that they will do that. Now, let's remember here. Let's look at these two here. You had Harry Reid and you had Nancy Pelosi. This is Chuck Schumer. I know that, okay? But remember, Barack Obama had 2 years, all right? He had 2 years with, let me keep this in perspective for everybody out there that a Republican is telling you they can't do something. Barack Obama had 2 years with the majority in the House. He had the 60-vote Senate that they stayed together. He didn't have to worry about a Jeff Flake, okay? He had a Bart Stupak, and I don't know. I think Bart's still alive somewhere in Michigan. But he had a 60-vote Senate. He had the House. And he had all kinds of opportunities, Barack Obama, to change everything he wanted. Immigration, okay? He could fix it. He could do anything he wanted, but they did not. They rammed Obamacare through, not worried about the repercussions, but they rammed Obamacare through. And you have Obamacare, you're stuck with it. Until you find a political party that's not going to do any more than stand on a stage and say, if you elect me, I will end Obamacare. Well, Republicans will lie to you and say we can't. You understand we don't have the 60 votes. Remember, Obama had everything he wanted. And he got Obamacare through. And then you got upset. Remember, you got upset. And you said, you know what, I'm going to give the House to the Republicans. Okay, because if elected, they were going to end Obamacare. Or they were going to defund it or something. Instead, you gave the House to the Republicans. And the Republicans gave Obama all the money he needed. There was no slowing down of printing money. There was no slowing down of the discount window, as it was called, for banks. There was no slowing down whatsoever of printing money as fast as we could, staying engaged in the wars to spend the money on as long as we could. And Republicans made sure, absolutely made sure, Barack Obama, as Paul Ryan leaves this month, John Boehner and Paul Ryan made sure Barack Obama had plenty of money all the way through. The only time there was a government shutdown, as they called it, it was blamed on Ted Cruz, and everybody jumped ship, and it was Ted Cruz's government shutdown. In fact, he went on the floor of the Senate and he read a bedtime story, a Dr. Seuss bedtime story to his children. Remember, we'll never forget that one, right? Mike Lee helped him a little bit. Marco Rubio helped a little bit. But the reality is that was pinned on Ted Cruz over in the Senate. But the House of Representatives, keep in mind, it went from Nancy to John Boehner. It went from John Boehner to Paul Ryan. It's going to go from Paul Ryan back to Nancy. Keep that in mind, how many years this has been that between her, Boehner, and Ryan, they have had the purse strings in this country. Period. But they made sure, the Republicans, that Barack Obama was funded, fully funded, all the way through his presidency. Now, we're up to the end. What did we hear before election? Why, if Mitch McConnell would have went nuclear option, right? If he would have changed the rules of the Senate and went to 51 votes, why, you know, there could be repercussions of that. There could be the American people could come back and they could lose the Senate because the American people believe in the 60 vote, not the 51 nuclear option. Not an up and down vote, right? Now, they did it for judges, right? Correct, they did it for judges, the nuclear option. But any Republican that tells you today that they could have not have ended Obamacare, changed it, voted on it, made health care, or offered the American people something better with health care and restructured it. Anytime a politician stands up and says, I think if you elect me, I will do whatever I have to do to get it to where we could sell insurance across state lines. All right? You remember when you want to see your health care go down? You remember when attorneys were not able to advertise on TV? You remember that? There was a time. There was a time that I guess it was considered unethical, that and an attorney, it was considered unethical to advertise on TV for attorneys. Remember that? Remember when attorneys started advertising on TV? Right? Look at what happened. Car insurance, look at what happened. I mean, you cannot watch TV without Flo's price gun telling you how much she can save you on motorcycle, house, and boat insurance. And, you know, for 15 minutes or less, how you can save 15%. You cannot watch a TV show without being just inundated of competition after competitor trying to get you legal for less. You let that take place in the health insurance industry, and you watch rates go down. You watch it. Watch the rates go down, period. It will drop dramatically. Republicans could have had competition out there in the marketplace for health insurance. You would not have to be purchasing the Affordable Care Act insurance based on that's all you could afford. You could be purchasing insurance because it's the best competitive price that's out there. Because of the market-driven numbers. Republicans do nothing but lie to you when they tell you they couldn't do anything about it. They could have sent it over. They could have sent it over to the Senate, and John McCain did not have to be the only thumb down, right? They could have done it with over at the Senate. They could have changed everything. But now we're up to the very last. What will happen? This is the very last Republican meeting. Well, Chuck and Nancy are going up, but this is the very last Republican spending bill from the House to the Senate. What will happen? Watch and see today. 2 years into his administration, we know they're shoving kids under the border wall. We know that. We know what's happening at the border. We know it's an invasion, not a caravan seeking asylum. It's an invasion. We know there's disease in this group. In fact, let me go to this morning before we take another break. But I'm telling you today, I've been telling you for a while, the 21st here. So let's look at this morning, the President of the United States. An hour ago, despite the large caravans that were forming and heading to our country, people have not been able to get through our newly built walls, makeshift walls, fences, or Border Patrol officers and military. They are now staying in Mexico or going back to their original countries. Okay? They're staying down in Tijuana. They're staying in Mexico, and they're looking for jobs down there. ICE, Border Patrol, and our military have done a fantastic job of securing our southern border. A great wall would be, however, a far easier and less expensive solution. We have already built a large new sections and fully renovated others, making them like new. The Democrats, however, are for strictly political reasons, and because they have been pulled so far left, do not want border security. They want open borders for anyone to come in. This brings large-scale crime and disease. Our southern border is now secure and will remain that way. I look forward to my meeting with Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi in 2006. Democrats voted for a wall, and they were right to do so. Today, they no longer want border security. They will fight it all at all costs, and Nancy must get votes for speaker. But the wall will get built. All right, he continues on. You got to have that. People do not realize how much of a wall, including really effective renovations, have already been built. If the Democrats do not give us the votes to secure our country, the military will build the remaining sections of the wall. They know how important it is. So he says, I'm going to build the wall no matter what they do when they get here. So we'll see, all right? Let me just say one more. 12 minutes ago, that's the one thing I enjoy about our President of the United States. 12 minutes ago, the President of the United States tweeted out, fake news has it purposely wrong. Many over 10 are vying for and wanting the White House Chief of Staff position. Why wouldn't someone want one of the truly great and meaningful jobs in Washington? Please report news correctly. Thank you. I did all I could, Mr. President, right here in LJ, Georgia. I'm going to take a brief break, and we're going to come back. We got a lot more to talk about today. Comey wasn't political, was he? Was he political? Take us a break, Josh.